Welcome to Virtual Wisdom Finance and Accounting Tutorials. My name is Peter and I will be your host in this particular tutorial. Today, I want us to look at stock valuation. This is a topic in accounting, that is in cost accounting or management accounting. You'll find this topic there. Now, what is stock valuation? So you find that in most organizations, you don't buy stock at once. So you find that you buy stock at different days. And in these different days, stock prices tend to change. You might buy stock today at 10 shillings per unit. Then tomorrow the price is different. Maybe it is 12 shillings or 15 shillings per unit. So due to this change, when you take this stock into the stores, you might not know which stock belongs to which price if you don't take a record of that. And that is why it is important to have a stock valuation technique or a method of recording the stocks in such a manner that you can tell this stock was acquired at this price, this was acquired at this price, so that when you are issuing the stocks, you're able to issue them at the right prices. So you find that we have various methods of recording stocks for the purposes of valuation. The first method, we have the first in, first out method. We have the last in, first out method. So this one is what we call the FIFO. This is what we call the LIFO. Then we have the weighted average method, the simple average method, and the standard cost method. So these are the various methods which can be applied in recording stocks so that it is easier to value the stocks at any given time. So in this tutorial, I'm specifically going to focus to the first in, first out method, which we call the FIFO. The FIFO. This is the method that I'm going to look at in this tutorial. So FIFO is a method of inventory valuation based on the assumption that goods are sold or used in the same chronological order in which they are bought. What does that mean? If there are stocks that were acquired on 1st of May, and others were acquired on 2nd of May. Those goods which were acquired on 2nd of May cannot be sold before those which were acquired on 1st of May. So whatever was bought in or whatever was purchased first, that is first in, is the one that is supposed to be sold out first. So you sell first what was bought first. That's the term FIFO, first in, first out. So for us to be able to understand the concept of FIFO clearly, I'd like us to look at an illustration. This one is going to help us understand this concept. The illustration says, Lions Limited are retailers who sell tiles. During the months of July to September 2000, there were price fluctuations. Due to the above problem, the company had to adjust its selling prices. So you see, they're saying that during this period, July to September, there were some fluctuations in prices, meaning prices were keeping on changing. They might have bought stock on July at a given price, then going to buy it in the following month, which is August, they buy it at a different price. So due to these fluctuations, these are the following transactions that took place during the particular month. So they're saying the following transactions took place during the month. So you need to see, what are these fluctuations? What was the change like during this particular period? So on that of July, opening stock was 5,000 tiles valued at 825,000. So at the beginning, so this is when the period started, on that of July 2000, and they had 5,000 tiles worth 825,000. So if you want to know the value of one tile, then you need to divide 825,000 with 5,000 tiles. Then on 10th of July, orders placed with the company increased, so extra tiles had to be obtained from Nairobi. Therefore, 22,000 tiles were purchased at a cost of 140 each, but in addition, there was a freight and insurance charge of 5 shillings per tile. It means that in this particular case, they bought, so there are some purchases that were made on 10th of July. And these tiles were bought at 140 shillings, but there were extra charges of 5 shillings, meaning the total price of one tile was coming to 145 shillings, and they bought 22,000 tiles. On 31st of July, during the month, 20,000 tiles were sold at a price of 220 shillings each. So they sold 20,000 tiles and each was selling at 220 shillings. So here we had some sales. On 4th of August, a new batch of 14,000 tiles was purchased at a cost of 175 shillings per tile. So here they acquired more tiles. So there were some purchases on 4th of August and they bought 14,000 tiles at shillings 175. Then on 30th of August, the sales for the month of August were 14,000 tiles at a selling price of 230 shillings each. So here there were some sales and they sold 14,000 tiles at 230 shillings each. Then on 1st of September, a further 24,000 tiles were purchased at a cost of shillings 195 each. So here you can see on 1st of September, they acquired 24,000 tiles and each was acquired at 195 shillings. On 30th of September, 27,000 tiles were sold during this month at a price of 240. So they sold 27,000 tiles. Then they're saying the cost accountant of Lions Limited decided he would apply first in, first out basis. So here they decided that they were going to apply FIFO in stock valuation or in recording stocks for the purposes of valuation. Required: 1. A store's ledger account using first in, first out method that we have just talked of here. 2. Show stock values at 30th September 2000. So let's get to working and see what this particular question requires from us. So let's start with the first transaction. On 3rd of July, we have opening stock of 5,000 tiles. So we have so you find that when you're preparing the store's ledger account, this is the format. Of course, here is the date, that is when the stock was acquired. The receipts here stands for the purchases, what was bought, right? Then issues are the sales, what you have discharged or what you have issued out. Then the balances is what remains once you sell, what remains from what you had previously. When you buy, what is the new value after you have bought some new stock. That is what you're referring to as the balances. So you're saying on July 3rd, the opening balance was 5,000 units and these units were worth 825,000. That is the total value of the unit, meaning each unit was worth 165 shillings. That is the cost per unit. The cost per unit in shillings is 165. That is, you divide 825 divided by 5,000. Then on July 10th, let's see what happened on July 10th. On July 10th, orders placed with the company increased. So here we are told that they purchased 22,000 tiles and each tile was bought, these tiles were bought at 145, right? So here we had some purchases. So on July 10, we are going to have some receipts of 22,000 units and each unit was bought at 145. So that gives a total value of 3,190,000. That is 22,000 multiplied by 145. Then when we buy, because in this particular month we have bought more stock, when you buy, you are going to increase the stock that was there previously. We had 5,000 units, but now we have acquired 22,000 units, and these 22,000 units is our new balance of which we have acquired. So it is going to be added to what we had previously. We had 5,000. So when you add these two, now we have a total of 27,000 units. And that the value, now you also add the value here, giving us a total value of 4,015,000. So we now have the stock that we have currently is 27,000 units at a value of 4,015,000. We go to July 31st. Look at that. On July 31st, during the month, 20,000 tiles were sold. So here we have some sales, right? So we are making some sales. So in July, we are going to sell. So we are going to the issues. So we are selling how many units? They're saying that they are selling 20,000 units, right? But now remember, under FIFO, whatever is bought first is what is sold out first. So what does that mean? The stock that was acquired on 10th of July cannot be sold before the stock which was acquired on July 3rd. You seen that? So what we are going to do, we are going to sell off this stock first, which is 5,000 units at 165. This is 825,000. Then the balance will now be obtained from this stock which was acquired on July 10th. And what is the balance? We are issuing 20,000 units, so we need 15,000 units from this stock that was acquired here at a price of 145. As you can see, that is the price at which they were acquired, giving us 2,175,000. So on that particular time, we are issuing 20,000 units at 3 million. That is the total value here. Now, what is the balance? You find that we have already issued this, so this is no longer there, right? Then whatever remains here, 22,000, we have issued 15,000 from this figure. So what is remaining? 22 less 15 is 7,000 units. So of this stock here, we are remaining with 7,000 units at a value of 145, right? For each unit. That giving us what? 1,015,000. That is our new balance. Then we go to the next date, that is August 4th. Look here. On 4th of August, a new batch, 14,000 tiles were purchased. So we are acquiring, 14,000 tiles. So what is the impact of that? Again, let's get back there. So on August 4th, they acquired 14,000. So I'm going to put that under purchases, that is the receipts. 14,000 units at 175. That is a total value of 2,450,000. So because we have acquired new stock, it's going to increase the balance that we had. We had 7,000 units that were remaining, but now we are going to include 14,000 more units so that we have a total of 21,000 units. And the values are given there for each and every stock and giving us a total value of 3,465,000. We go to the next date. On August 30th, what happened on August 30th? So on 30th of August, here it is, the sales for the month of August were 14,000 tiles at a selling price of 238. So what does that mean? They sold in this particular day or particular month, they sold some goods. So we are disposing. So how are you going to record that? Again, go back to the working. So you find that on 30th of August, they sold 14,000 units. But remember, we are applying the FIFO. So this is going to fall under purchases. But how are we going to distribute that? Again, the balance here, we had a balance on 31st of July worth 7,000. We have to sell this one off fast. Remember, first in, first out. So we are going to sell this at a price of 145. That is a total of 1,015,000. Then the balance is going to be obtained from the next stock or the stock which were acquired in the next date. And what is that? The balance is 7,000 units. So the 7,000 units are going to be obtained from the 14,000 at a price of 175. That gives us a total of the total value of that will be 7,000 by 175 will give you 1,225,000. So at the end of the day, we'll have issued the 14,000 units at 2,240,000, but the 7,000 will be obtained from this stock and the other 7,000 will be obtained from this stock, so that whatever was obtained first will be issued first. Now, what is the balance? Out of these 14,000, we have issued 7,000. So what is remaining? We are remaining with 7,000 units, and the price of these units is 175 shillings per unit, and that is a total of 1,225,000. So that is what we are now remaining with. In our stores, that is what we have currently. So we move to the next transaction. The next transaction is on September 1st. So on 1st of September, a further 24,000 tiles were purchased. Yeah, so they acquired more tiles, 24,000 of them at 195 shillings each. So here we had some purchases, so we are increasing the stock. So again, get to that. So they acquired 24,000 tiles at 195. That is the total value of 4,680,000. When you multiply this, they give you 4,680,000. Now we had a balance in the previous month. This was the balance, 7,175, giving a total of 1,225,000. So this balance, you have already acquired a new stock, 24,000 at 195. So the 24,000 will be added to the balance that we had previously to give us a total of 31,000 units at a value of 5,905,000. So at the current state in our stores, we have that 1,000 units, and the value is 5,905,000. We go to the next transaction, and that is on September 30th. On 30th of September, we are told that 27,000 tiles were sold. Yeah, so they sold 27 tiles. So here we are selling, so we are disposing of, we are getting this stock out of our stores and selling them off, and these ones are being sold at shillings 240 per tile. So let's get to recording that. So on 30th of September, it is going to fall under issues because these are sales. You are issuing out. So we are issuing how many units? We are issuing a total of 27,000 units. But remember, whatever was bought first must be sold out first. So the 7,000, which was the balance from in the month of July, is the one that is going to be disposed of first. So we are going to sell 7,000 units at 175 each. That is a total value of 1,225,000. Then the balance, what is the balance? We need extra 20,000 to make 27,000. So the 20,000 now will be obtained from the stock that was acquired on September 1st. And this stock was acquired at 195 shillings each, and the total value now will be 20,000 by 195, which is 3,900,000. So in this particular day, or in particular month, we have sold 27,000 units at 5,125,000, right? Now, at this particular date, what is the balance? The balance now will be from the month of what? September. Remember, out of these 24, we have only issued 20. So what is remaining? We are remaining with 4,000 units, and the value is 195 shillings each, giving us a total of what? 780,000. And this figure here, as you can see here, this is now the balance as at 30th of September. And because we don't have any other transaction, this is basically the closing stock, or the stock that we have in the stores at this particular day. The figures that you can see here, the totals that you can see here, the 60,000 represents the total sales. Yeah, sorry, the total purchases during the period. Remember, we bought 22,000 units, then you bought 14,000 units. If you add that, then you come and add 24,000 units, it's going to give you 60,000. That is the total purchases that were made, and the value of these purchases was 10,320,000. The same way, the sales, we sold 20,000 units at this value, then we sold 14,000 units at this value. So when you add these and these figures here, then we also sold 27,000 units at 5,125,000. So when you add the figures you're going to get 61,000 units at a total value of 10,365,000. Back to the question. Part 2 of the question was asking us to show the stock values at 30th September 2000. The stock on 30th September 2000 is basically the closing stock. And as you can see, I've said the closing stock will be 4,000 units at 195 shillings each. That will give us 780,000. So you can represent that in a table like this. So on 30th of September, the year is 2000, we have 4,000 units at 195 each. That will give us 780,000. That is basically the closing stock. That is what we have in the stores. After we have bought, after we have issued, that is, we have sold some stock during the month, this is what we remained with. Thank you for your time. This was Virtual Wisdom Finance and Accounting Tutorials. I hope the content was useful to you, and if it was, kindly don't forget to subscribe to the channel, follow on our tutorials, and you're going to receive more in the near future. Remember, I've only looked at one method of stock valuation in this particular tutorial. Kindly follow on to check on the tutorials on the other methods of recording stocks for valuation purposes. That include the last in first out method, FIFO. We also have the weighted average method and also the simple average method, and also we have the standard method. We have all those other methods in the other tutorials. In case you have any question or you'd like to get any clarification, kindly get me through the contact above here. Thank you for your time.